Welcome back everybody. This is Sayyid ABDELTAWAB from Dr. Cables. Okay everybody, in the previous video, part 1 of the cost reduction series, we discussed about cost saving benefits, certain price definition and equation, cost price definition and equation. Today is the next step in our series. In this slide, we will talk about warning of random cost reduction methods. Yes, it is very important subject. Again, warning of cost reduction methods that are applied at random. Because without the right experience and culture of cost reduction methods may result in superficial, unstudied ideas to reduce cost. Unrealistic cost reduction targets or concepts that lead huge financial loss over time, or the company's reputation will be jeopardized. Frequently, companies make the mistake of focusing only on, for example, reducing raw materials cost. Companies have attempted to increase the profit margin by reducing the cost of raw material, by lowering the raw material quality, which may affect product quality. And machines spare parts. Manufacturers use low-quality spare parts to save money. And machines maintenance. Ignoring machine maintenance strategies in an effort to reduce the cost. Machines rate. Increase machines rate by running the machine at a faster speed than were designed to. Decrease labor cost. Companies make the mistake of focusing only on reducing head count to save money. Lack of vision. Companies need to have a long-term perspective of their strategies and identify sustainable cost saving. This may have a negative impact on the final cost or financial loss. Customer dissatisfaction. Competitors may take advantage or the company's reputation will be jeopardized. We can conclude from the previous that there are two kinds of cost reduction. Negative cost reduction, as noted previously, which could ultimately result in financial loss. Positive cost reduction, which is the proper way to reduce costs. This type is what we will deal with. In this slide, we'll talk about elements of manufacturing costs. The cost of a product is determined by various factors that must be considered. Undoubtedly, the necessity of cost accounting must be affirmed. The need for cost accounting. Cost accounting provides the detailed cost data that management needs to control current operations and plan for the future. Companies must control costs in order to keep price competitive. In today's global environment, cost information is more crucial than ever in remaining competitive. Now, about elements of manufacturing cost. Direct materials. Materials that become part of the finished good and can be readily identified. Direct labor. Labor of employees who work directly in product manufacturing. Factory overhead includes all costs related to production other than direct materials and direct labor. Variable costs versus fixed costs. Variable costs are any expenses that change based on how much a company produces and sells. Variable costs are any costs that a company incurs that are associated with the number of goods or services it produces. This means the variable cost increases as production rises and decreases as production falls. A company's variable cost increase and decrease with its production volume. When production volume goes up, the variable costs increase. But as the volume goes down, the variable costs follow suit. Some of the most common types of a variable costs include direct labor, utility expenses, raw materials for production, commissions, packaging, and shipping. About fixed costs on the other hand are any expenses that remain the same no matter how much a company produces. As such, a company's fixed costs don't vary with the volume of production. and they are indirect, meaning they generally don't apply to production process. Unlike variable cost, fixed cost remains the same regardless of whether goods or services are produced or not. Thus, a company cannot avoid fixed costs. These costs are normally independent of company's specific business activities and include things like rent payments, certain salaries, property tax, depreciation, insurance, interest payments. Okay, we'll stop there because this is the second step toward cost reductions. Goodbye and see you for the next parts of this series.